Hey everyone, it's April. I want to show you guys a little trick on the way that I use the Cricut transfer tape. Kimberly was asking me why it was so hard to transfer with it, so I just wanted to show you guys a video on how I do this, just so you can see and make sure that you're doing it in the same manner. It's the way that Cricut and everybody recommends. I have not yet weeded my image. Let me pull this back, and I am using glitter, so it's maybe a little tougher to weed than some of the others. It's just, when it's not sticking, I just press it back down and just work with it till I can get it started. That lifted up a little bit, so I'm going to straighten that out. There we go. And you don't want to let it stick to itself like that. That's where you got a problem, except that has to come out anyway, so I'll be okay. It didn't take it out, but it could have. Just be careful, you don't want it to stick. So let me get rid of that piece. Then I'm going to go in here and get all these other. I love this Cricut weeding set. I love this one with the hook on it. Got a tiny piece right there. And I am doing a couple of Christmas ones. There's a couple of things that I wanted to do already. I haven't had time to do them. And my H is not wanting to separate. Sometimes the glitter has a little more tack to it, I think. I could be wrong. It may be just this roll. I don't know. But there are just various ways of just working with it until you get a rhythm going. And I've noticed that sometimes from one brand of vinyl to the other, they all are a tiny bit different. But if you just play with them, you can get them to work. Got everything out there. I think I lost the dot to my eye in there. Just going to look for it real quick. Let's see. And there it is. I found my eye. That happens. I always do that with the eyes, I think. I always forget about them. But I do have it, if I can get it off my finger and get it back into place. And this is not as sensitive. The backing, once it comes off the backing, it's very hard to get things to stick back to it. And that's so that it will release easier. I'm all curled up here too. It's not helping me. But if you just take your time and work with it, and I did pick something that had pieces that stayed for a reason. Get that out of there. Just so I could show you guys how to work with it a little easier. Stay in there. There we go. And you can see I just held that down so I could pull that away, and then I'll just reline that up because it will slide pretty easily around on this backing. We'll get it where we want it. That's good. Let's get the other one. And I might get through this one without damaging my glitter vinyl. There we go. Now I have everything. Let me get rid of these pieces. And some people stick them to tape, but just whatever you have handy. I usually just keep it stuck in my hand till I'm done. I'm going to get rid of all of that. Double check our image to make sure that we have everything like it's supposed to be. And then my transfer tape. Let me get these pieces off of my fingernails really quick because I don't want them sticking in the wrong places and damaging our project. I'm going to be putting this on the front of a shadow box. And I've already put my shadow box together, except this on the outside. This is going on the outside of the glass simply because I have glitter. And it's a different color. It's silver on the back. So I'm taking my Cricut transfer tape and I'm pulling this back. And I'm going to fold it over just like this, just to get it started. Let me roll this on the table to flatten it a little bit. That works better. And I'm folding this about halfway back. I cut it to the size of my, sometimes some smaller projects you can fold halfway back. I just go ahead and peel it. And then I'm just going to place it over my image and press it down. I'm going to take my large Cricut scraper, scrape over it, and I'm putting a good amount of pressure. But now I'm going to flip it over. And I am going to burnish this from the back. This is where I really do my burnishing. I don't try to do it on the front because you're just going to catch the edges and tear it because it's lumpy. This is smoother on the back and it'll stick. Burnish it really good. And let me get my shadow box. And all I've done with my shadow box here, let me see if I can bring this up for you guys, is I've put a piece of 9x9 paper on the inside that I cut from a 12x12 sheet. I've put some sequins down in the bottom, and that's what we're going to put it on. Let me bring you back down here. And before I put this on the glass, I am actually going to clean mine with some denatured alcohol. A lot of people use just alcohol. This is what I use. This will clean anything and everything off the glass. You do want to, if you've got painted nails, you'll want to wear a little glove or something because you don't want to get it on you. And you don't want to get it on your table surfaces either. Get this open. It's got a safety cap. It is flammable, so you'll need to be careful what most alcohol is. So, and I use an old sock from one that my husband lost a mate to or whatever, and it just takes a very little bit. And let me come over here where you guys can see. And I am going to clean the glass. Even though it was clean and it had a plastic packaging on it, I'm still cleaning it. If there is anything on that glass, I apologize, didn't mean to hit the camera at all, it's gone. Trust me, it's gone. And you'll want to use this in a well-ventilated area because it does have a strong smell to it, just like most alcohol does. But now that that is cleaned and ready for me to put my vinyl on, let's peel this. I turn it over to the back and I peel this corner back flat, and then I just pull, and if it starts to stick or an area doesn't want to stay on the transfer tape, I just rock it back and forth, or I press and put a crease in there to make it pop loose from the transfer. And just like that, it's off. And now let's place it on the vinyl. Let me raise this camera up slightly so you guys can see. I want to make sure, I hate to jiggle you, but let's see if I can move this without too much issue. Get a little bit more height on there so you can see this. There we go. And now it's just a matter of where you want to place it on that glass. And I have not touched the glass whatsoever. I think right about here is good for me. And that looks pretty straight. And I'm setting it down in the center first. And then I'm just letting go and pressing the rest of this. Again, I'm going to take this and I'm going to burnish it. And then I'm going to take that corner and I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the backing. And I am going to pull this. And if you can see, it tried to pull that up. I'm just going to rock it. And it tried to stretch it a little, so I'm going to just work that air bubble out slightly. But you'll just want to be careful. Rock it. And it's going to feel tight. And trust me, using the denatured alcohol will make this stick easier and better than regular alcohol will. My eye didn't stay. That's the one I had a problem with. I threw away, so I got some of the sticky off of it. I'm just going to rub it down again. And then I'm going to keep pulling flat. I have my hands pressed flat against the glass. Left the R. So let's go back. Rub that. Keep pulling back. In my opinion, just the denatured alcohol, because it removes all the impurities or anything that's on the glass, allows the glitter and the other vinyls to stick just a little bit better. And now that that is on there, I'm going to take the backing from the vinyl. I'm going to lay it over it, and I'm going to burnish, and that's so I don't damage the vinyl. And I'm only pressing where I have the paper. So make sure that you stay on there so you don't want to catch the edges of your vinyl. If you have any teeny tiny air bubbles, I have like one or two here, give it a day, let it sit. I got one there. They should suction in and be gone. If they don't, you can take a hairdryer. Be very careful. Stay 6 to 8 inches away. Heat it up a little bit and they should just go away. If not, then you can take a small pin and stick in there just to just so that you can, let me pull out so you guys can see this, just so that it will adhere and get that air bubble out. But 99% of the time, I don't have to prick it with a pin to get it out of there. Usually just letting it sit for a day, or like I said, using the hairdryer just to heat it up slightly and rubbing it with the paper, it will take it out. But that's the way I use the Cricut transfer tape and any other transfer tape that I might get my hands on to use. I always peel them, burnish them, everything the same way. And I've yet to have a problem. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. More are coming. Please join our Facebook group if you're not already a member. If there's something you want to see, let us know. Thanks for watching. You guys have a wonderful day.